You know, mirrors. We look into them every single day, right? We barely even think about it. It's just a tool, something to check if we have spinach in our teeth. But what if, for some people, that simple piece of glass was a source of, well, pure terror?
Just think about that for a second. What if catching a glimpse of yourself in a shop window sent a jolt of pure panic through you? Or imagine not even being able to stand in your own bathroom because of what's hanging on the wall. It sounds like something straight out of a horror movie, but for some people, it's their day-to-day reality.
So this intense fear, it actually has a name, catoptrophobia. And you might be surprised to hear that it's a specific phobia that really gets to the heart of how complicated our relationship with our own image can be. Now, to be really clear, we're not just talking about having a bad hair day or not liking a photo of yourself. No, catoptrophobia is a genuine, overwhelming fear. It's an irrational dread of mirrors, of reflections, or sometimes even just the idea of seeing yourself reflected back.
So you have to wonder, where does a fear this specific even come from? I mean, it doesn't just pop up out of thin air. Turns out, the origins are usually super personal and can often be traced back to a couple of key things.
And the potential causes are pretty varied. For some people, it all starts with a single traumatic event. Maybe they saw something really scary in a reflection when they were a kid. For others, it's all tied up in superstitions, taking that whole 7 years of bad luck thing to a whole new level. But a lot of the time, it's deeply connected to bigger issues, like struggles with self-image or an anxiety disorder that just happened to latch onto mirrors as its focus.
Okay, so understanding the cause is one thing, but what does it actually feel like to live with this every single day? Well, the impact on a person's life is huge, and it can turn the simplest daily routines into massive hurdles. We're talking about a visceral, physical reaction here, way more than just feeling a little uneasy. It can be this immediate, intense wave of panic. People might go to incredible lengths to avoid any reflective surface, and not just mirrors, but think about shop windows, shiny tables, even the dark screen on your phone. And if they are confronted with a reflection, the physical response can be really severe. Sweating, shaking, a racing heart, the whole 9 yards.
And the consequences in the real world are just massive. I mean, imagine trying to get ready in the morning with absolutely no mirror. Or think about the anxiety of walking into a public restroom or clothing store fitting room, places that are basically lined with mirrors. It forces a person to completely change how they move through the world.
But here's the most important part of this whole thing. A phobia does not have to be a life sentence. Not at all. There are proven, effective ways for people to manage this fear and start taking back control of their lives. So the path forward is usually a process with a few key steps. First up, there's therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is a really big one here. It helps people challenge and reframe those fearful thoughts. That's often paired with something called gradual exposure therapy, where a person is slowly and in a very safe way reintroduced to reflections. At the same time, learning coping techniques like mindfulness can help manage the physical side of the anxiety. And in more severe cases, medication can be a tool to help get that underlying anxiety under control.
The big takeaway here is that this is not some unbeatable fear. It's just not. With the right professional support and a real commitment to working through it, it is absolutely possible for people to dial down that fear and get back to living a life that isn't ruled by avoiding reflections.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. Whether we fear our reflection, love it, or just don't think about it, it forces us to confront ourselves, doesn't it? So maybe the next time you look in the mirror, it's worth asking, what does that relationship, that quick glance, really say about you?